This is the voice in the wilderness of the people coming to you in the great wind. This is the day that EZER has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I pray that EZER have kept you in good health, in great strength, has protected you from all danger, from all accidents, and from all iniquity. And you in turn have been calling out unto his name and singing his praise and glorifying him and giving him thanks for everything. Praise EZER, praise EZER, praise EZER Almighty, praise EZER. Brothers and sisters, strangers, to all who will hear this video, today I will take this opportunity to go into the book that EZER has given unto us, the book of the law, the book of life, the book of remembrance. And I will show you today who Esau is, for the purpose of educating my people, because there are so many false doctrine teaching our people that Esau is the European, that Esau is the white man. So today I will make this video, and I hope you will listen to it, and it will make it clear to you who Esau is. My brothers and sisters, EZER in the book has told us who Esau is. Esau is the brother of Jacob. We must remember that Jacob and Esau were twins. They had the same father, Isaac, and the same mother. They were in the womb of their mother together. To see this, I will now go into the book of Genesis, and I will begin in chapter 25, verse 21. And it reads, And Isaac entreated EZER for his wife, because she was barren, and EZER was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of EZER. And EZER said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out ruddy, and was hairy all over as a garment. And they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. My brothers and sisters, here we see that the difference between the 2 boys was that one was smooth and one was hairy all over as a hairy garment. That was the difference between the 2 boys. As we often see, all children are born ruddy, clear skin, or dark brown. That's what ruddy is. And here I will show you a picture of a red horse and a red dog, as it is known to be red. Not as we know red today, but as the heathen know what red is. I will show you what they give you as red. Red horse and a red dog. Now, you will notice that red does not means white, and white is not red, my dear brothers and sisters. And Isaac was 80 years old when he bare them. He was 60 years. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling at home. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob made porridge, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. My dear brothers and sisters, they have not given us the full story of why Esau came from the field so tired and faint. They have not given us the full story because the heathen has removed it from our book. I will now give you the story why Esau came faint and why Esau sold his birthright, and the reason why he thought he would have been killed that day. My brothers and sisters, in the book of Joshua, a book that was removed from the book of remembrance by the Romans, it is mentioned to us in the book of Joshua chapter 10 in verse 13, and I will read. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Joshua? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. And here he is telling us this is written in the book of Joshua. And that's one of the books that was taken out of our book. It also mentioned the book of Joshua in 2 Samuel chapter 1 verse 18. And I read, also he bade them to teach the children of EZER-IAH the use of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Joshua. So I say this to make it clear to you that the book of Joshua was part of our book of remembrance, the book of the law. It was removed by the Romans. And I will show you why it was removed. Because in the book of Joshua, they explain the whole story and the reasons behind what Esau did. So now I will go into the book of Joshua and read to you the reason why he sold his birthright, the reason why he was so tired, the reason why he thought he would have been killed on that day. So to him, his birthright meant no use to him. And that's why he sold it. Jacob did not steal Esau's birthright. Esau sold his birthright. So in the book of Joshua, chapter 27, we read, "And Esau at that time, after the death of Abraham, frequently went in the field to hunt. And Nimrod, king of Babel, the same was Araphead, also frequently went with his mighty men to hunt in the field and to walk about with his men in the cool of the day. And Nimrod was observing Esau all the days, for a jealousy was formed in the heart of Nimrod against Esau all the days. And on a certain day, Esau went in the field to hunt, and he found Nimrod walking in the wilderness with his 2 men. And all his mighty men and his people were with him in the wilderness, but they removed at a distance from him, and they went from him in different directions to hunt. And Esau concealed himself from Nimrod, and he lurked for him in the wilderness. And Nimrod and his men that were with him did not know him. And Nimrod and his men frequently walk about in the field at the cool of the day, and to know where his men were hunting in the field. And Nimrod and 2 of his men that were with him came to the place where they were, when Esau started suddenly from his hiding place and drew a sword and hastened and ran to Nimrod and cut off his head. Here we see that Esau murdered Nimrod, a king. And Esau fought a desperate fight with the 2 men that were with Nimrod. And when they called out to him, Esau turned to them and smote them to death with his sword. And all the mighty men of Nimrod who had left him to go to the wilderness heard the cry at a distance, and they knew the voice of those 2 men, and they ran to know the cause of it. And when they found the king and the 2 men that were with him lying dead in the wilderness, and when Esau saw the mighty men of Nimrod coming at a distance, he fled and thereby escaped. And Esau took the valuable garment of Nimrod, which Nimrod's father had given to Nimrod, and which Nimrod prevailed over the whole land. And he ran and concealed them in his house. So here we see that Esau killed Nimrod for a garment. That garment that he killed Nimrod for was the garment that was given to Adam. That garment came down through the lineage to Noah. And Noah passed that garment down to Nimrod. And that is what Esau wanted from Nimrod, that garment. Because to him, that's the garment that caused Nimrod to reign and to be powerful. And that is what he wanted to steal. So he went to his house and he hid the garment. And Esau took those garments and ran into the city on account of Nimrod's men. And he came unto his father's house, weary and exhausted from fight, and he was ready to die through grief when he approached his brother Jacob, and sat before him. And he said unto his brother Jacob, Behold, I shall die today. Listen to his words, I shall die today. And wherefore then do I want the birthright? So he's saying, I will die today, so I don't need no birthright. And Jacob acted wisely with Esau in this matter. And Esau sold his birthright to Jacob, for it was so brought about by EZER-IAH. EZER-IAH caused him to sell the birthright to Jacob. Jacob didn't steal no birthright. And Esau's portion in the cave of the field of Meshphlah, which Abraham had bought for the children of Heth, from the children of Heth, for the possession of a burial ground, Esau also sold to Jacob. And Jacob bought all this from his brother Esau for the value given. So here, it was not just his birthright he sold. He sold a portion of land that was given to him. Why did he sell those things? He wanted to escape, because in his mind, the men of Nimrod would kill him. So he needed money, he needed food, and he needed to escape. My dear brothers and sisters, there is a lot in this for us to learn. First, he did evil. He killed a king. Secondly, he did not value the birthright. He sold it. EZER-IAH knew Esau. EZER-IAH knew Jacob. EZER-IAH is the one who gives blessings. No man can bless another man, but men can ask and request EZER-IAH to bless one another or others. And EZER-IAH choose to give the blessing to Jacob. And that's the fact, my brothers and my sisters. And this is the reason why Esau was so tired and he was hungry. And that's the reason why he sold his birthright to Jacob. My brothers and sisters, you can also read about Nimrod in Genesis chapter 10 from verse 8. He was also known as a mighty hunter in the sight of EZER-IAH, and he was hunting men, the souls of men. The same thing as Esau, a mighty hunter. He was hunting men. He was leading men astray from the way of EZER-IAH, our Redeemer. We also see in Genesis chapter 25, in verse 28, that Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. So he loved him because of his wild meat. But the question is, did EZER-IAH love him? did Aiah love Esau? In the book of Malachi, chapter 1, we read, "The burden of the word of Aiah to EZER-IAH by Micaiah. I have loved you, says Aiah. Yet you say, wherein has I loved you? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, says Aiah? Yet I love Jacob, and I hate Esau, and has laid his mountain and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness." This is the words of Aiah, my brothers and sisters. In Psalms 137, verse 7, we read, "Remember, O Aiah, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that reward thee as you have served us. Happy shall he be that take and dash thy little ones against stones." And sisters, in the day of our calamity in Jerusalem, when it was invaded by the heathens, Esau was one of them. He stood by and saw what they did and helped them to destroy us and take our possession. Also, in the book of Joshua, we read in chapter 28 from verse 18, and it reads, "At that time Isaac sent his younger son Jacob to the house of Shem and Eber, and he learned the instructions of Aiah. And Jacob remained in the house of Shem and Eber for 32 years. And Esau his brother did not go, for he was not willing to go, and he remained in his father's house in the land of Canaan. And Esau was continually hunting in the field to bring home what he could get. So did Esau all the days. And Esau was a designing and deceitful man, one who hunted after the heart of men and envisaged them, flattered them. And Esau was a violent man in the field, and in the course of time went as usual to hunt. And he came as far as the field of Seir, the same is Edom. And he remained in the land of Seir, hunting in the fields 1 year and 4 months. And Esau there saw in the land of Seir the daughter of a man of Canaan, and her name was Edoeth, and the daughter of Beri, son of Ephah, from the families of Heth, the son of Canaan. And Esau took her for a wife, and he came unto her. 40 years old was Esau when he took her and brought her to Hebron, the land of his father, dwelling place, and he dwelt there. My brothers and sisters, here we see that Esau, whom EZER has given the commandment to his father, letting them know that they are not to take the daughters of Canaan to be wives, and they were not supposed to give their sons to their daughters and their daughters to their sons. Here he took a Canaanite woman and make his wife. We also see Jacob went to the house of Shem to learn the ways of EZER, while Esau refused to do it. My dear brothers and sisters, I hope you are seeing the difference between the two boys. I hope you are seeing that one is very disobedient. He does not value EZER nor his teaching. He would not take instructions nor follow commandments. Whereas the other son is obedient. He listens. He takes correction. He takes instruction. He values the commandments and be obedient to them. And this is another example why EZER loved Jacob and hated Esau. That's another example why EZER blessed Jacob and did not bless Esau with the birthright. Jacob didn't steal anything. No man can steal a blessing. The blessings comes from EZER. We know, brothers and sisters, that men judge based on what they see. But EZER judges according to the heart of men. He knows our hearts. And he judges based on the heart. We see that Isaac loved Esau. But EZER hated him because of his ways, because of his desire to do wrong. And EZER is the one that was blessing. So even though Isaac was to ask for the blessing for Esau, and EZER chose to give it to Jacob, that's EZER's decision. EZER is the one who is blessing. Isaac is just making a request. But the heathens, they teach this to us as though Jacob was a deceitful man, and he was so wicked, and he was deceitful, and he stole. Jacob didn't steal anything. Now let me read what Isaac said. Genesis chapter 27 from verse 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here I am. And he said, Behold, now I am old, and I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I beg thee, thy weapon, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison, and make me savor meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. Now he is saying to Esau to go out there and get some meat for him, that he can bless him while he's alive, that he could request a blessing for him. That's what he's saying. He does not have the power to bless Esau. He doesn't have the power to bless anyone. But he has, while he's alive, he can request, he can make a supplication unto EZER for his son. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard your father speaking unto Esau your brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savor meat, and I may eat, and bless thee before before thy death. You see, he is going to call on for the blessing before he dies. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command you. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savor meat for your father, such as he loved. So here we have Isaac is telling Esau to go and get the venison and cook it for him. And here we have the mother is telling the other son to get the meat and let her cook it for the father, because the father is about to request a blessing for them. And EZER will give that blessing to the one who deserves it. EZER is the one that will bless. And you shall bring it to thy father, and he may eat, and he may bless you before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man. My brothers and sisters, that was the difference between the 2 boys. One was hairy and one was smooth. Here he is saying it. He says, my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing. So here Jacob is saying he does not want to do anything that will cause him a curse, because he does not want to have a curse. And his mother said unto him, you must remember, this is 2 parents, a mother and a father. And the mother said unto him, upon me thy curse, my son, only obey my voice and go and fetch me them. She's saying, if there is going to be a curse, it's going to be upon me. You go and do what I tell you to do. Bring them to me. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father's loved. And Rebekah took good remnant of her eldest son Esau, that were in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. And she put the skin of the kid of the goat upon his hand, and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savor meat and the bread, which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, my father. And he said, here I am. Who art thou? My son. And Jacob said unto his father, he is Esau, the firstborn. I have done according as thou hast asked me. Arise and pray thee, sit and eat of thy venison, that thy soul may be blessed. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that you have found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because EZER, thy Redeemer, brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his remnant, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which EZER has blessed. Therefore EZER give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. This was the blessing unto Jacob. Corn and wine, agriculture. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be master over thy brethren, and let your mother's son bow down to you. Cursed be every one that curse you, and blessed be that bless thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise, and eat of this son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn. And Isaac trembled before exceedingly, and said, Who were in that has taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and has taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he has taken my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him your master, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto you, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be in the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shall you live, and shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when you shall have the dominion, that you shall break his yoke off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand, and then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, thou comfort himself, purposing to kill you. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise, flee to Laban, my brother, to Haran, and tarry there a few days until thy brother fury turns away. My brothers and sisters, here we see the father has asked for the blessings and gave them the blessing. One blessing was for corn and wine and the fatness, and the other one's blessing that he will dwell, his dwelling place shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword he was to live. My dear brothers and sisters, with this passage, you should know who are the children of Jacob and who is the Esau and who is Esau's children. Esau's generation is Edom, and that is the house of sword, the sword that they shall live by. The Arabs that has the sword as their symbol, the house of sword, their dwelling place is of the fatness of the earth, the oil in the earth where they live, where they dwell in the land. And that's the blessing that Allah gave them. They are the Arabs, the hairy people of Saudi Arabia, the black hairy people of Saudi Arabia. That's the difference between the two boys. And the description of their blessing should make you know who they are. And the symbol that they carry, the sword and the oil that is in the land where they dwell. And as Jacob, he was full of corn, and he had wine, he had the agricultural products, the olives, the grapes. That's what he had in his portion of land. My dear brothers and sisters, Esau, Jacob's brother, are the Arabs. They are not the white man. The white man is known to us in the book that Allah gave to us as the strangers, as the heathen. That's how they are known. Esau, Jacob's brother, who did exactly what he knew that will hurt his father and his mother. He went and married the Canaanite women because he knew it will affect his parents mentally. That was disobedience. The greed he had, and he killed Nimrod for the cloak. That was another evil thing he did. He did not go and learn the way of Allah. Another thing he did that Allah disliked. And up to today, he has never learned the ways of Allah. He is still worshiping the mighty one of the Canaanites. The things he learned from the women he chose to be wives. And that's why they do not call upon Allah up until this day. In the book of Joshua, we read verse 13. It says, "And Esau dwelt in the land of Seir 6 months without seeing his father and mother. And afterward Esau took his wives and rose up and returned to the land of Canaan. And Esau placed his 2 wives in his father's house in Hebron. And the wives of Esau vexed and provoked Isaac and Rebekah with their works, for they walked not in the ways of IAH, but served their fathers' gods of wood and stone, as their fathers have taught them. And they were more wicked than their father, and they went according in the evil desire of their hearts, and they sacrificed and burnt incense to Baalim. And Isaac and Rebekah became weary of them. And Rebekah said, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these, which are of the daughters of the land, what good then is life unto me? Here we see the mother of these two boys saying, if Jacob will take a daughter from Canaan, then she will have no reason to live. That's to tell you how disturbed they were by the wives of Cain. He brought his two wives who worship idols into his father's house. And in the father's house, they are offering sacrifice unto their idols, unto their stone and their wood. And up to today, Esau, the Edomites, Esau and his children are still serving stone. They have it in Mecca that they go and kiss it. My dear brothers and sisters, this is who Esau is. He is the Arabians. They are our cousins. They have turned away from IAH. They did not want to know the ways of IAH. They refused the ways of IAH, and are today worshiping a stone in Mecca. In chapter 29 in the book of Joshua, we read also from verse 24, and Isaac called unto Jacob and said unto him, take not a wife from the daughters of Canaan, for thus did our father Abraham commanded us, according to the word of IAH, which he had commanded him, saying, unto thy seed will I give this land, if thy children keep my covenant, and I have made with them with you, then will I also perform to thy children that which I have spoken unto you, and will not forsake them. Now therefore, my son, hearken to my voice, to all that I shall command you, and refrain from taking a wife from amongst the daughters of Canaan. Arise and go to Haran, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take unto thee a wife from there, the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. Here, my brothers and sisters, we hear from Isaac himself, saying that IAH has commanded Abraham that his seed should not take wives from the Canaanites. They should not take wives from the land, the people of the land. The same thing IAH has commanded us until today. But as our people today continue to go astray from the laws of IAH, so did they do it in their times. My dear brother and sister, IAH blessed Jacob. I must continue to let you know this. We must not allow the heathen to tamper with our minds in making us believe that Jacob did something so wrong. Jacob didn't do anything. The mother of the two children, she decided to do this with Jacob. The father decided to work with Esau. Both of them did what they did. EZER is the one who will bless the children. EZER appeared unto Jacob twice. EZER never appeared unto Esau. EZER changed the name of Jacob and put his name on his name. EZER never did that to Esau. EZER loved Jacob. He said he hated Esau. My dear brothers and sisters, we must not allow the heathens to make us to follow their way in saying that our father had tricked someone to get the blessings of EZER. No one can trick EZER to get his blessings. No one can falsify something before EZER to get his blessing. EZER is righteous in all that he does. He knows our hearts. That's what he judges in men. And he chose to bless Jacob. He chose to give Jacob the land of Canaan. He gave Esau the land of Seir. He did not give Esau Europe. Esau was not in Europe. Esau is not the white man. Esau is not a stranger to Jacob. Esau is a Hebrew. He's from the line of Abraham. But he is not an EZER-IAH. The EZER-IAHs came through the line of Jacob. Esau is like cousins to us, the Arabs. The same ones that is in your neighborhood with the corner stores. They are still hairy. They still hate us. They wouldn't do anything for us. With all the wealth that they have, they will not help us. That's their nature. My brothers and sisters, I hope I'm showing you and you can see, because I would like you to read. There is so much on this subject. I would like you to read the book of Genesis concerning Esau and Jacob. And get yourself familiar with what is being said about these two boys. They are brothers. They are not strangers. They know each other. They had the same language. They grew up in the same home. So they can't be strangers. EZER told us that he will bring strangers into our land. Strangers shall take us captive to language we did not know, to a people we have not known, neither our fathers have known. My dear brothers and sisters, Esau and Jacob had the same mother. They was brothers. None of them ever lived in Europe. None of them. I hope I am showing you and you are comprehending what I'm showing you. My brothers and sisters, to emphasize this to you, I will say this to you again. Esau is the brother of Jacob. Esau lived in Mount Seir. Esau did not live, Esau never lived in the Caucasus Mountain. Never. He lived in Mount Seir, in the rocks. I will show you a picture of Mount Seir. I will also show you a map now of the route to the promised land, the route we took. And we had to pass through the land of Esau. We had to pass through the land of Esau to get to the promised land. My brothers and sisters, we did not have to pass through Europe to get to the promised land. So we must dispel this false doctrine that Esau and Edom is the white man. Edom is the children of Esau. You can see this in Genesis, or in Exodus, Genesis chapter 10, I think. You can read about it and see. So Edom is the children of Esau. The children of Esau have also mingled with Ishmael. Remember, Esau married one daughter of Ishmael. One of Ishmael's daughter was his wife. So they are mingled. And also Esau has mingled with the strangers, the European, the white people. So now we have to search him out. We have to search them to know who they are. And with all these false doctrines about Esau as the white man, we must give up these doctrines. They are false. We must know who Esau is. I will also show you a picture of the real Esau, the Edomites. Esau is not the white man. He is not the stranger. He is not the European. I will now show you a picture of the white man. Esau is not the EZER-IAHs. He is not Jacob. I will now show you a picture of Jacob, the EZER-IAHs. Now I will read from the book of Genesis chapter 32, from verse 9, a prayer of Jacob. And it reads, "And Jacob said, O mighty one of my father Abraham, the mighty one of my father Isaac, O Aya, who said unto me, return unto the country and to the kindred, and I will deal with you there. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and of the truth which you have shown unto thy servant. For with my staff I pass over this Jordan, and now I become two bands. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he will come and smite me, and the mother with the children." My brothers and sisters, Jacob telling you that Esau is his brother. Now I will read to you from the book of Deuteronomy chapter 2, and I begin in verse 1. "Then we turned and took our journey into the wilderness by the way of the Reed Sea." This Red Sea here is known as the Reed Sea. As I speak unto me, and we compassed Mount Seir many days. They compassed Mount Seir. They had to pass through the land of Esau, Mount Seir. "And I speak unto me, saying, You have compassed this mountain long enough. Turn you northward, and command you the people, saying, You are to pass through the coast of your brethren, the children of Esau. They have to pass through the lands of their brethren, the children of Esau, not Europe, Saudi Arabia, and the lands that surround it. Take you good heed unto yourselves, therefore, meddle not with them, for I will not give you of their land, no, not so much as a footbreadth, because I have given Mount unto Esau for a possession. You shall buy meat from them for money, that you may eat, and you shall also buy water from them for money, that you may drink. For I, your Redeemer, has blessed you in all the work of your hands. He know thy walking through this great wilderness, these 40 years. I, your Redeemer, has been with you, and you has lacked nothing. And when we pass by from our brethren, the children of Esau, which dwell in Mount Seir, through the way of the plain from Elath, another son of Esau, and from EZER-IAH, we turn and pass by the way of the wilderness of Moab, children of Esau. And Aiah said unto me, distress not the Moabites, neither contend with them in battle, for I will not give you of their land for a possession, because I have given her unto the children of Lot for a possession. The enemies dwell therein in time past, that's the giants, a people great and many and tall as the Anakims, which were according to giants as the Anakims, but the Moabites called them Imims. The Horims also dwell at Mount Seir before time. But the children of Esau succeeded them, where they had destroyed them from before them, and dwell in their stead, as EZER-IAH did unto the land of his possession, which Aiah gave unto them. So here he is saying that the Esau, the Edomites, have destroyed the giants. Aiah have destroyed the giants and give the land to Esau, as the same way Aiah have destroyed the Canaanites and the giants and give the land to EZER-IAH. My dear brothers and sisters, here again we see Esau is the brother of Jacob. They are two brothers from the same mother and the same father. Here we had to pass through the land of Esau, the Edomites, to get to the promised land. We did not leave Egypt and go to Europe. We left Egypt, we crossed the Red Sea, just like I just read, into the land of Esau, and then we had to buy meat from them. We had to buy food from them, as Aiah commanded us, and told us that we are not to interfere with them, that he was not going to give us a footbreadth of the land. But he have blessed us with money that we could buy these things from them while we was traveling to get to our land, the land of the Canaanites. Now look on the map and see how close these two lands are. That's why when they joined up with our enemies, they was right on our border, and they came and they took our possession. They was with our enemies. My brothers and sisters, it is so much to explain. It is so much on Esau and Jacob. It is so much that our people should not have been in the darkness concerning who is Esau. Our people should know who Esau is. So much in our book is about Esau and Jacob, our own cousins, our father's brothers. But this video is getting long, so I have to try to close it up. And in doing so, I will read to you the book of Obadiah concerning Esau, and also concerning who is Esau, who is the strangers, who are the foreigners, and also who is Jacob. This book speaks of these three different people. And I will read the book of Obadiah from verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus says EZER-IAH, our Redeemer, concerning Edom. Again, Edom is the generation of Esau. We have heard a rumor from EZER-IAH, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Esau is one people, the heathen is another people. Arise you, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made you small among the heathen. You are greatly despised. He is speaking about Esau. And he's saying here, he have made Esau small among the heathen, because Esau has turned away from him. Esau is now heathenistic. That's why they worship idols and stone. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee. You that dwell in the cliff of the rocks. I have shown you a picture of the cliff of the rocks where they dwell. Whose habitation is high. That said in your heart, who shall bring you down to the ground? Though you exalt yourself as the eagle, and though you set your nest among the stars, then will EZER-IAH bring you down, says EZER-IAH. If thieves come to thee, if robbers by night, how are you cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to you, would they not leave some grapes? Here EZER-IAH is asking them some questions. EZER-IAH is saying to them, if thieves come to you, they will take as much and they will leave some. If the grape gatherers come, they will leave some. But you want everything. You will take everything. When they came into our possession, when the heathen came into our possession, they took everything. They destroyed us completely. Our own brothers, my brothers and sisters. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? This is how we search him out. And this is how we get to know who he is. By studying this book. Not by listening to the heathen who are trying to set us off to another direction. We got to know who Esau is. And Esau is the one who have the powers in the world doing what they are doing today. Because of their oil and their contracts and their money. Look what they are doing in Yemen today. Look what is happening in Afghanistan today. The hunger and the dying of children around the world. Esau is part of this. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men who did which border? They came to our border, Ayah's land, where he had us. They came there with the heathen. The men that were at peace with you have deceived you and prevail against you. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under you. The same people who he have colluded with to destroy EZER-IAH, the same people who is colluding with today to get the arms and the ammunition that he have to kill his own brothers around the world, they shall deceive him. There is none comprehension in you. Shall I not in that day, says our Redeemer, destroy the wise men out of Edom and the comprehension out of the mount of Esau? I is saying, would not I, when the time come, destroy you and your mighty men? O Teman, who is Teman? Another son of Esau, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Here I is saying, these are our people whom he will totally destroy. For thy violence against your brother Jacob. I is saying why he is going to destroy them. Shame shall cover you, and you shall be cut off forever. Why? Because of your violence against your brother Jacob. In the day that you stood on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, in the day when the strangers came into Ayah's possession and destroyed Jerusalem, Esau and his children, the house of Edom, was there with them. And the foreigners entered into his gates. Here we see there were foreigners. Who was the foreigners? The Europeans. And who is Esau? The Arabians and the Ishmaelites. They are mixed. And cast lots upon Jerusalem. Even you was as one of them. You see, when the strangers came, the people whom our fathers did not know, they didn't know the Romans, they didn't speak no Roman. These are the strangers that came, whom Esau joined up with. But you should not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. I am saying he should not have looked upon us the day we became strangers, when the strangers took us into the Western world, when the strangers took us away. Neither should you have rejoiced over the children of EZER-IAH. You see, they rejoice. They celebrated our destruction. In the day of their destruction, neither should you have spoken proudly in the day of their distress. You should not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Here I is telling Obadiah to tell them what they should not have done, but they have already done it. And the time is coming when they will pay for what they have done. Them and the heathens. Yea, you should not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. He's saying to them, you should not have joined up with the strangers to do what they did. You should not have taken part in what they did. You should not have looked upon your brothers and did not help them. Neither should you have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. So what they did, they blocked the way when our people was trying to escape the heathen. They blocked us. Neither shall you have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. So those of us who they caught, they delivered us unto the heathen. Do you see what Esau have done? And I knew the heart of Esau from the very day before he sold his birthright. I knew what he is capable of. I hated him. That's why I hated him. That's why I made him to give up his birthright. That's why I never blessed him. That's why I never gave him no blessing. Jacob didn't steal anything. It was a work of Aya, our Redeemer, the Holy One of EZER-IAH. He did it because he knew the heart of Esau. For the day of Aya is near upon all the heathen. So here, the punishment he has for the heathen, the destruction he has for the heathen, Esau now will share in this destruction. For Esau joining with them, for what they did with the strangers. My brothers and sisters, this is clear enough for you to know that Esau is not the white man. Today, they are a mingled seed. The majority of them are mingled with the white man. They are mingled with Ishmaelites. But they are not the white man. They are the Arabs. As you have done, it shall be done unto you. So the same punishment that will be given to the heathen for what they have done is the same punishment will be given unto Edom, Esau, and his generation for what they have done. Your reward shall return upon thy own head. Their reward shall be returned on the head. For as you have drunk upon Aya's holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. You, yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been. So they will enjoy their lifestyle until that day is come, when their destruction shall come upon them. And I pray that Allah will give us the strength and the ability to see their destruction. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possession, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. The house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them. They shall burn in the fire and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. They all shall perish with the heathen. For Aya has spoken it. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain the Philistines. Here EZER-IAH is distributing all the lands to us. He is distributing the land of Edom, of Esau and his children to the children of Jacob. And they shall possess the field of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. And the captivity of this house of the children of EZER-IAH shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zephiah, and the captivity of Jerusalem that is in Shepherad shall possess the city of the south, and saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be EZER-IAH's. And in the end, EZER-IAH will raise up his people, the sons and daughters of Jacob, and we shall judge them. We will take their possession. As they have done to us, so shall it be done unto them. Praise be unto EZER-IAH. Praise unto EZER-IAH for his promises. Praise unto EZER-IAH Almighty. Praise EZER-IAH Almighty. My brothers and sisters, these are the words from the prophet Obadiah that EZER-IAH has given him, the vision that EZER-IAH has given him of the destruction of Esau, Edom, and of the heathen, the strangers, the foreigners that came into his land, and also to remind the children of Jacob what EZER-IAH have in preparation for us. So I pray that may EZER-IAH bless you and keep you. May EZER-IAH make his face to shine upon you. May EZER-IAH be gracious unto you. May EZER-IAH lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace, and you may continue to call upon the name of EZER-IAH, and EZER-IAH will bless us all. Praise EZER-IAH Almighty. Praise EZER-IAH. Praise EZER-IAH. Praise be to EZER-IAH Almighty. Praise.